you Let's go.
All set, bro! All set, bro!
I can't believe it's not just the Moonglow fireflies. Even cats can get eaten. Yerva. Make sure you keep a close eye on Pavlov the next time you take him for a walk.
Don't worry so much. Pavlov's a lot bigger than a cat. Besides, they're just plants. What's the worst they could do?
I remember a certain fresh-faced adventurer saying something similar, right before coming face-to-face with a hexadecatonic mandragora.
Hexadecatonic mandragora. Awesome!
Oh. What are you all hollering about, huh? Paimon heard the commotion from miles away. Is this some sort of class?
Yep, it sure is. Linnea's telling us all about her recent findings.
Of course. Please take a seat. Since we're on the subject of hexadecatonic mandragoras, there's another notable variety of plant that can be found near Void Sea Outlook.
You must mean Winter Icelea.
Spot on! I'm talking about Winter Iceley.
Hey, Yerva, that's cheating. Linnea didn't even finish asking.
Sorry, I got carried away and jumped the gun. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more questions to answer. Right, Linnea?
Enough for everyone! Get your answers at the ready, and you'll all have the chance to earn yourselves a sugar sculpture. Ooh, a sweet, sweet sugary reward! Come on, Traveler. This is our time to shine. Right! Back to the topic at hand. There's actually an interesting story about Winter Iceley. Legend has it that this plant held a deep connection to the King of Winter Iceley. Now, the King of Winter Iceley had a brother, whose own symbolic plant is something you should all be very familiar with. Can anyone tell me what it is? Paimon's definitely familiar with those, but that's probably not the right answer. Incorrect. The correct answer is midsummer berries.
Midsummer berries? All I know is Katya and Aino both make delicious midsummer tort.
Midsummer berries are the symbol of the King of Midsummer Oak, brother to the King of Winter Iceley. Legend has it that these two twins have been fighting since birth. They each take turns killing the other, only to be resurrected once more. Each rules their own season, with this cycle of death and rebirth continuing until the end of time.
That's so sad. Despite being connected by blood. Katya once told me good relationships have nothing to do with blood. Sometimes it's precisely those connections that cause conflict to arise.
How very perceptive of you. You're right, of course. That's exactly what the scholars of Snezhnaya think the story represents. What's more, due to Winter Iceley's hardiness and resistance to the cold, it's also considered to be a symbol of the Light Keepers. The leaves will keep their promise. Paimon's heard that saying before. It's a very old saying, and hardly anyone still uses it nowadays. I'm surprised you're even aware of it. We're seasoned adventurers, which means we're... What was it again? Oh yeah! Well-traveled and well-read.
The Light Keepers. They're the ones who dress in black, right? Are they also hardy and resistant to the cold? But their clothes look so warm. If they really are so resistant, couldn't they wear a bit less? You've got it all muddled up. What Linnea means is that, just like Winter Iceley, The Lightkeepers stand tall in the face of hardships as fierce as the icy wind.
Wonderful! Your interpretation is spot on. But let me ask, how did you arrive at that understanding?
Helga sent me a handbook, all the way from Fontaine. She told me about the language of flowers. Now all the flowers of Fontaine have their own secret meanings. I think if Winter Isley has a meaning, it must be something like unbending. Or maybe the courage to persevere until the end.
Well, someone's clearly learning to draw inferences. Well done! And Miko, you may have approached it from a very different angle, but your sense of logic is certainly interesting. Let's see if you two can answer this next one.
Ask away! No question's too hard for the traveler.
Such confidence! In that case, I'll ask you one of my hardest. Why do nocturnal blossoms come in both red and blue?
Alright, so what's the answer? Nocturnal blossoms aren't the only things we've seen in Notcry that are red and blue. Come to think of it, we've seen red and blue stuff all over the place. If you're asking about the one thing that stands out most about Notcry... Hey! Stop trying to explain everything away with the power of Kuvaki. There's no way the answer's gonna be as obvious as that.
You're correct!
What? Seriously?
It's common knowledge for those of us who live in Notcry, but not so much for adventurers visiting from afar. So, in context, I suppose it could be considered a tricky problem? But you weren't fooled by the question at all. It looks like you're on the path to becoming a real stellar adventurer. All right, that's it for today. All the students who answered a question can have a sugar sculpture!
Huh? Wait a second! Don't tell Paimon that she's the only one who doesn't get any candy! If Paimon had known, she'd have answered more questions! Even if she'd have probably gotten them all wrong.
Don't worry, don't worry. You'll get yours too. You and the Traveler are a team, just like Lumi and me.
Well, Miss Linnea really is the best teacher ever! Oh!
There's another legend that claims the opposing colors of the nocturnal blossom represent two sisters from the Frost Moon Scions.
Do they kill each other too? I noticed that lots of stories have siblings who end up killing each other. What's up with that? We're not like that in the Conch Gang. Hey! Let Linnea finish the story, will you? I bet the sisters make up in the end. Right? Otherwise, why would people use the nocturnal blossom with its two flowers joined together to represent them? I hope they make up in the end.
Yeah.
Up and away!
keeps its course. Dare to mess with me?
Mind the wind. Mind your step.
If you ask me what's the one place you should visit in Not...
Let's go.
Wow! Speranza's busy today. What's everyone chatting about?
We're trying to decide what the most beautiful rock in Nod Cry is. My vote goes to Moonfall Silver.
Since Aoni's not here, I'll go for Icy Pebbles on her behalf.
Then I nominate Rainbow Drop Crystals. They come in loads of colors, and you can even make weapons with them. They're way more useful than Moonfall Silver and Icy Pebbles. Well, I don't think a rock that just looks good but doesn't do anything can really be considered beautiful.
Actually, Moonfall Silver has quite a few uses too. Although they're certainly not as common in daily life as those of Rainbow Drop Crystals. As it happens, during my investigation, I came across some interesting stories about clothes woven from Moonfall Silver.
Huh? No way! You can weave clothes out of rocks?
So you find it hard to believe too? Well then, you'd best sit up straight and listen close.
Clothes made of Moonfall Silver? Oh, Paimon's super curious too! Come on, Traveler. Let's stick around to hear this.
Once upon a time, there was a Fey governor in Nodcry who was obsessed with rare trinkets and had a passion for dressing up. This governor's advisors worked day and night, desperately struggling to find new and exotic clothes for their master. Then one day, a young tailor dressed in black came calling. He claimed to have inherited the mysterious techniques of the Golden Realm, and that he could spin crystals that glow like the silver moon into thread for weaving clothes. The governor was overjoyed. He promised to pay the young man handsomely if he would stay and make him clothes. The young tailor requested a vast quantity of Moonfall Silver be delivered to his workshop, and demanded that no one disturb him while he worked. Naturally, the governor agreed. When the scheduled time arrived, the governor found the workshop completely empty, with neither Moonfall Silver nor any clothing to be seen. Having eagerly anticipated his new clothes, he hurriedly asked, "Where did all the Moonfall Silver go? And where are the clothes you promised?" The young tailor raised his hands, and, as if he were shaking out a piece of fabric, said, "See? I took the Moonfall Silver you sent me and wove it into this gown, as pure as moonlight itself. Too pure, in fact, for a fool or an unremarkable man to even perceive." The governor asked his advisor how the gown appeared to him, to which the advisor responded by saying it was the most magnificent gown he had ever seen, just like real moonlight woven and given form. The governor could not see a thing, but unwilling to admit he was either a fool or unremarkable, he did as the tailor bade and put on the moonlight gown. To show off his extraordinary new gown, the governor decided to parade it and himself along the busiest street in town. But as he did so, he heard a child with a conch in his belt shout out,
The governor isn't wearing any clothes!
"It seems like our Miko has guessed how this story ends."
The tailor was a cheat. There are people like that in Nasha Town too. I heard about this one lady from Sumeru who schemed a whole bunch of folks.
Good question. According to the story, the young tailor was none other than Reed Miller in disguise. He traded the Moonfall silver he took from the governor for Mora and gave it to the poor townsfolk. While the governor was parading himself through town, Reed Miller was enjoying the show from a nearby rooftop.
He really got around, huh? I've already lost count of the number of stories he's popped up in.
But if he was lying about the whole thing, then doesn't that mean there were never any clothes made from Moonfall silver to begin with?
I believe there were, but the art of weaving them has been lost. But the only evidence now surviving in folk stories. The tale of the fisherman and the beast also mentions a moonlight gown. But Nico and Maisie are still too young for that one, so I'm afraid it'll have to wait.
Huh? No fair.
Huh. You sure know a lot of weird and wonderful stories, Miss Linnea.
Indeed! I'm sure you've noticed by now. The world is so vast, with so many secrets yet to discover. Even the things we think we know may well have unfamiliar backstories, like Moonfall Silver. The same goes for Rainbow Drop crystals, in fact. Each region of Teyvat has its own unique minerals, and just like people from different nations have different customs, rocks from different places have their own distinct characteristics too. If you have the patience to listen, you may discover that even silent crystals begin to talk, sharing the stories they have etched into their memories. And not just minerals. Life forms, both ancient and new, are beautiful and unique. This world is filled with stories and mysteries of all shapes and sizes. In the instant when a mystery is touched by the light of understanding, countless new possibilities reveal themselves, and the whole world opens up! Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away.
Linnea gets like this when she's talking about things she's interested in. If we ask Miss Linnea what the most beautiful rock in Nagcry is, she's certain to say, "Every rock is beautiful in its own way."
So it's probably better if we ask you two to cast your votes.
The most beautiful rock. What do you think, Traveler? After all that, you went with the obvious choice. Paimon thinks Moonfall Silver is the prettiest, too.
What about you, Linnea? If you had to choose only one rock that was the most beautiful.
How about we end today's lecture here?
Whoa. Miss Linnea's trying to dodge the question.
Oh!
Why don't we invite the Adventurers Guild to host a geological beauty pageant in Nasha Town?
If that happens, we'll need to find a way to ban Dorota from attending.
Yeah. If she's there, she'll do whatever it takes to make Moonfall Silver win. But you can't just ban people from taking part. Of course you'd say that. You're on Team Moonfall Silver.